let's talk about the IPOB. I believe that agitation actually is not a wrong thing in itself. Somebody saying this is what I want, it's not a wrong thing. How you go about it could be wrong, and how also the government treats it could be wrong. And that's what we've been facing today. I'm one of those who have called for the release of MAZI Kanu. I don't think the continued detention, incarceration, and all of this is helping matters.
Yes, depending on your time zone and location, the whole stage MAZI Kanu has he stopped all these things. Watch the video. Drop one opinion in the comment section and make sure you this video. Watch the video, guys. I'll be right back.
To be honest, I think for me, the place I want to start off this conversation is to try to paint a picture of how terrible things are in the Southeast. I was reading a report recently by a group of NGOs and authored by one Emeka Umeabolasi and his colleagues, and they documented a lot of atrocities that have happened in the entire Southeast, where in their reckoning, over 65,000 people had been victims of kidnapping and what have you, and over 32,000 deaths from different, whether state actors and non-state actors. And all of these things tell you the level of deterioration we've suffered. And what is saddening is what has happened even in recent time, particularly in my own dear state, Anambra, where nobody's spared. Archbishops are not spared, House of Assembly members not spared, Reverend Fathers, Reverend Sisters, lawyers, nobody's spared. It's just a matter of who's going to be the next victim. And when this happens, there is not even any hope inside, no rescue inside. It's just when the criminals decide to leave you off, if they decide to murder you or sell your body parts, it's their decision. And they do this unchecked. There's no threat of, oh, we're going to be arrested, nothing like that. They can spend a whole 30 minutes, 1 hour in an incident, and this is how bad it's become. And so when we're now going to go into the root cause of this, I don't think it's appropriate to just coalesce it into IPOB activities, because that's what your question is tending to suggest. Arrest of Simon Ekpa, will it stop? As if that's the only, no. Let's go deep into what are actually the root causes of this issue. In my opinion, again, it's just when you have poor leadership, because even within the same Southeast, some states are better than some. Anambra is seen as the worst today. Enugu is relatively better. Abia is better. What are they doing differently? It's still the same, and guess what? Simon Ekpa is not even from Anambra State. MAZI NNAMDI is not even from Anambra State. Why is Anambra the worst? It boils down to issue of leadership. Now, let's talk about the IPOB. I believe that agitation actually is not a wrong thing in itself. Somebody saying this is what I want, it's not a wrong thing. How you go about it could be wrong, and how also the government treats it could be wrong. And that's what we've been facing today. I'm one of those who have called for the release of MAZI Kanu. I don't think the continued detention, incarceration, and all of this is helping matters. And quite frankly, I don't know Simon Ekpa. We see some of the videos he does, and whether he changes, replaces, I think is irrelevant to what we're talking about. Because what has happened is that there are now huge criminal elements that hide under the auspice of IPOB to create all manner of issues. But truly speaking, they are not agitators. They are criminals. So what I say to leaders, forget about this nomenclature. Deal with criminals of whatever form.
I think your governor has even made that statement. He said, let's call a spade, and not an agricultural instrument. Let's call criminals criminals.
Yes.
And deal with them as criminals.
Purely.